We're good to go. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's nice to have Haley with us tonight for her first time as a board member. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Sarah, would you like to do a roll call?
Of course. Tracy Stevens.
Present.
Donna Clark.
Present.
Haley Heaslip.
Present.
Heather Dale. Jane Donnelly.
Present.
Jason Legree.
Present.
Lauren Davidson.
Hello, present. I'm just working on my sound and video, but I am here.
I'm just gonna see if I can do the volume here. I think we just lost you with the.
She doesn't have her mic on. Yes, she did.
She did, yeah. We just couldn't hear her, so.
So Lauren Davidson is present.
She is present, and I can confirm that.
Virtual today.
And that, Chair, we do have quorum.
Excellent. And Maggie, you are going to read the land acknowledgement this evening. Sure. Thank you.
So as we gather, we would like to acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Honoring the traditional territories of the Indigenous peoples is one of the 94 calls to actions of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's report. To do this properly, we encourage everyone to learn more about the lands we call home, as we all have a role to play in reconciliation.
Thanks, Maggie. Do we have a conflict of interest this evening, anyone? None noted, Sarah. And I know that everybody's had a chance to look at the minutes from the November 18th meeting. Could we have someone move that the Renfrew Public Library Board approve the regular board meeting minutes from November the 18th? Donna? Thank you. And seconded?
I'll second.
Thanks, Haley. Excellent. Is there anything anybody wanted to discuss or offer?
There were a couple of items on there that were asked for further clarification. I have to say I did reach out and ask about the ROC acronym, and they said they weren't exactly sure what it's what its confirmed meeting is, but to go with Renfrew Organizational Committee. And I said, okay. They're like, that's not set in stone, but you can say that. So I said, okay, perfect.
She cannot second it because
I wasn't here. That's very true.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jane. And thank you, Donna. Thanks anyway, Haley. All right.
I think the only other thing about those minutes was we were still looking into the extra stats for going directly from, instead of going to the website to get that stat usage, we've been going directly to the catalog. So I'm still reaching out to Xenia to wait and see how we can calculate those direct usage statistics.
That's right, because they were quite impressive, and we were curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Maggie. All right, so Sarah, do we need to read the motion again or have it carried? We're good.
As long as everyone knows what the motion is, we can just
All right,
vote on
we're
it.
good. Okay. So financial statement.
They do have to vote on it though.
Oh, we do
Yeah,
have a vote on it.
yeah.
Okay. So all in favor of the November minutes being passed? Show of hands. All in favor. Thanks, everybody. Okay, to jump to the financial statement? Okay, so this is the financial statement for November. So we need a motion that the Renfrew Public Library Board accept the November 2024 financial statement as it was presented. Did any motion? Jane?
We can still discuss it though.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Once it's on the table.
Okay.
Yes, I know. I always do it backwards.
Yes.
Okay, and seconded. Thank you, Donna. Okay, so now we can discuss.
Okay, the only thing I was wondering about, there were two things actually. The donations, there was $900 in donations in fundraising revenue this month. I just was curious what that was.
Yeah, so we actually have some big supporters of the library, and these are actually donations to the library.
Oh, nice.
We have people who donate annually, and usually it is around this time of year.
Yeah.
And then I think you had mentioned the
the big contracted services.
Yeah, so the contracted services, there was one for 49,000, and that was part of the Trillium entrance project for the doors in the children's and the new ramp door. And that was also this 3750, and then the rest of the cost was PST.
Just give you a minute there, Jane.
Were there
Is there-
any other numbers?
Yeah, is there anything else that jumped out at anybody? I just want to give Jane a minute to get that
That's all right.
noted. Anything else that anyone's curious about? Or wants clarified even?
Included in there, we did have the invoice for the new slat wall that's been added at the end of the nonfiction leading into the teens graphic novel section, and it looks really, really nice. We're really happy with it, and it's great for displaying. Currently, we're displaying our new French titles, so we're happy, and we're hoping maybe we can use those in other areas of the library as well next year.
All good. Next year's coming fast.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right. So we need to vote on this? Okay. Can we have a vote on this then, everyone? All in favor? Accepting it? Financials? Great, thank you. All are in favor, Sarah? All right. Presentations. Right? Okay. Maggie, would you like to add?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I do. I do need to add one. Please.
Okay,
And how shall we word it? I'd like to add the year at a glance.
yeah,
Just that the reformatting of,
okay. So we'll do a motion that says that the Renfrew Public Library Board waive the rules of procedure to consider the RPL year at a glance visual not circulated with the agenda to receive as information in advance of a formal discussion at a future meeting in 2025.
and can we have a motion for that? This is true. And second, well, and we're going to discuss it, absolutely. And seconded, thanks, Haley. Okay, so what it is as discussed last meeting, I think it was in November, when we were,
Just to pause you, they just have to vote to say that they are going to allow this, and then you can. have a
okay,
discussion on
you
it.
need to vote so that we can allow this. All right, all in favor? Okay, thank you.
Now you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Can I share it now?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So this is what we talked about in November, when we approved the process steps with Brady and HR. I had mentioned, and we had discussed that personally, my brain works on a January through December kind of a calendar, and it would have been easier for me if I had that rewritten as a January through December at a glance. So I drafted one. It is a draft, and I just used the information in the process steps from Brady and HR and put it in a January to December format for you to look at, take away, think about. If you don't like it, that's fine. If you love it, that's fine. But I just thought perhaps we could peruse it together at a later date. And maybe this is also an opportunity for us to add other things like Library Week. Like, I know we have a fabulous celebration of Library Week annually. I just never remember when it is until Maggie puts it out in the newsletter or talks about wonderful things that are happening at our lovely library. So that is what I just want to propose, that you are open to taking it home and thinking about it. And I will be the one that will do the typing and the editing, and if you don't want it, you don't have to have it.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it did have some positive remarks when we did discuss it last time. So I do have it ready, and I tried to make it a little bit pretty. So how do we move forward with this, Sarah?
It's just a presentation, so we can,
Can I distribute it?
Yep.
To everyone?
yeah, and I will
Great.
post it in a
Great.
post agenda.
Okay, excellent. And it is on screen so that our viewers can see it. Again, it's just a January through December. All right. All righty.
Any questions? You good?
Any questions? Any thoughts? Certainly don't need to discuss it tonight. We can do it at another time, just to take away for future discussion. Okay. Great. Okay, Lauren, we'll make sure you get one.
Thank you. It looks really great, Tracy, and I feel like it could be added to
Not
as
sure
well.
why.
Is your speaker on the owl?
It is, but if I change I can change it on here, but then we may not, the recording won't hear anything except for the Zoom meeting.
It'd be your select a speaker option. The second section.
We'll just take a
Lauren,
moment.
do you want to see if we can hear you now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can hear me now. Oh, wonderful. Okay, this is fun. Yeah, no, it looks really great, Tracy, and I feel like there's other things to add to it as well, which we could add, as we go through the year. So
That is an excellent idea, Lauren, and we'll make sure that you get that electronically. Quick.
yeah, that'd be great. Okay, thank you.
All right, so now what's our next step, Sarah?
We can move on to the next.
Library statistics? Okay, Maggie.
There was no big changes. I think pretty much we're down a little bit in the adult departments, but we're up in e-resources. I don't see, oh, the children's department went up quite a bit. Well, overall, the 10. Sorry, I was just looking at the fiction. Yeah, other than those website visits, which we're working on, everything else seems good. We're still getting lots of new memberships, including those outside, like non-resident memberships. So yeah, I think statistics wise, we're doing well. I know with the changeover with the staffing changes coming, we'll see how statistics change in 2025 with our new children's coordinator and our new adult and teen program coordinator, and see if the programming stats notice any increases, but we'll make sure to bring that up at that meeting.
Yeah, the stats have been consistently good.
I think the stats were great, especially the children's. stats.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's really good.
Everyone's really enthusiastic about the kids programs. Yeah.
Mhm. I love looking at these reports every month.
Yeah.
They're always so positive and uplifting.
Yeah. And it really does let people see that people are still coming to the library and using the library. So I'm grateful for that. Are there any questions about any of the numbers?
Do we have a stat on people who have library cards and if they actually are actively using it versus not?
Yeah. So those are actually updated every 2 years.
Mhm.
So we do, we don't do the monthly as in who used it this month.
Okay.
That's reflected in kind of what they borrowed. But we can definitely get that. We can say out of those 2,686 total patrons, how many used it in the last month?
That'd be cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll remember that. And
Good
the
question,
numbers-
Hayes. Good question. Because we did revisit that topic not too long ago.
Yeah.
Glad
Excellent.
we're on the same page then.
Absolutely we are. Spent a lot of time clarifying numbers and, right? And looking at them in different ways, which
Yeah.
is always good. Even the counters on the doors,
Yes.
right?
And it is interesting to see even different days, different times when we're most busy,
Yep.
and it helps with scheduling. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
okay. So then,
Do you want to go ahead with the activity report? This has got lots of exciting stuff as well.
yeah, I didn't include any policies that were up for approval, updates that were up for approval this meeting. I figured we had a lot, but they will be on the agenda for January. So as we mentioned, Jana was a successful candidate for the children's coordinator role, and we're really excited. It's going to be great.
I'm sure she's
Um,
excited too.
She is. Yeah.
Excellent.
And then the posting for her job closed on Friday. I received all the applications and we're just going over them. Hopefully we can send out interview invitations this week, but it's hard with the holiday season and we don't really want to, not that we don't want to impose on people, but it's hard to get someone to come in, especially if they are from out of town, to come for an interview during the next 2 weeks when we're closed 3 or 4 days. So anyway, hopefully they'll be in the building and at their posts by January 20th. The goal.
Excellent.
Most of you probably know Kelly's acting CEO position was extended until January 31st, which means I would remain in the role of acting CEO until the 31st as well, which is exciting. So I will be at the next January meeting.
Excellent.
And we're both going to be attending the OLA Super Conference and this year's theme is Building Bridges. And looking forward to learning from other people in the library sector. It's a great learning opportunity. I don't know if everyone has a copy of the winter program guide, but there's some great programs coming up. Hopefully, if you can't attend, maybe just even if sharing the social media posts or just spreading the word is really helpful. Typical week survey. We did that last week in November, and I'm compiling that into the stats for the annual report. We've submitted for Canada Summer Jobs. Hopefully we can get 2 this year, but if not, at least one great one for TD Summer Reading Club. And we're excited to see what spin Jana puts on it. She will be the children's coordinator come June. I spent some time. We had the security company reach out to us because an alarm went off because some batteries were dying. So we ran around, changed all the batteries. We're still looking for a smoke detector that disappeared, but once that is found, everything will be up to date and good to go.
So these batteries are in their lanyards?
Yeah, so if you're working by yourself in the adult section or in the children's department, we ask that you wear the lanyard. And as soon as they pass it, it contacts a security company who would send out either police or fire or whatever's needed, depending on the security alarm. So that one would be police to send someone over. Yeah, but that's part of our health and safety policies that we have those. We used to have that button under the desk, but we no longer do with the new circulation desks. So.
And with all of you moving around all the time, this would be more effective and efficient.
It is effective to have that on you if you're shelving or doing something. We're still waiting to figure out what happened to the HVAC system. 4 or 5 of our monitors just went blank and we can't turn them on. Only one is currently working, but the boilers are on, so there is heat in the library. But that is being looked into. We had some complaints about the edges of the new walkway and the steps. People find them very slippery, and it's the part that's really shiny. So they did add a layer of grit, like in the middle of the steps and right near where you walk in and in the middle of the walkway, but it's just those edges, just in case. We're just making sure they're really well salted. And then in the spring, we're hoping to maybe add at least a layer just to the edge of the steps.
So the high traffic areas are already gritty, are they not?
They are, but it's just, there's like a section about this wide.
And goes around.
It's just at the edge. Say if you go to step on it, it's quite slippery.
So on the steps themselves.
Yeah. We've only had one person fall and they were fine, but so we're just making sure that they're salted and hopefully something can just be added to make it a little bit more grippy in the spring.
Oh, definitely.
Town Christmas party was awesome, and we are going to have our little holiday celebration at the library on Wednesday after our meeting. And that was it for the update. And then everything else, the children's department, it's bittersweet with these being some of Susan's last programs, but they're all being very well attended. I think everyone wants to get in and see her, so that's good. Dye November was a success. Hands on Tuesdays, it's always well attended. The family literacy event that Susan was invited to, she said it was awesome. So hopefully we can adapt that maybe to our own family literacy day at the library and get all those families into the library. That would be amazing. And then the adult programs are going well. The Light of the Square, thanks again, Tracy, for being the amazing reader. I'm sorry I didn't get to catch your reading, but
It was an absolute pleasure.
good. I'm
It
glad.
was. I loved it.
Yeah, well, everyone said it was great,
The
and we had
kids,
nothing
the
but positive
parents
feedback.
even stayed and read with me.
Aw.
Like, you know, the ones where it was a choral where,
Yeah.
you know, you echo. Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, it was lovely.
See, that would be something that we might add to our work plan, that an annual holiday event. We would love
Definitely.
if board members could attend or even volunteer some of their time.
And I don't know if everybody was able to pop in, but it was busy. Like, it was
Yeah.
delightfully busy. I was so thrilled to see how many people were coming in and out of the library, and yeah, I thought it was wonderful. Really well done.
We think it's a good idea to partner again when they do light up the square.
Mhm.
And just try to, because it does draw people in, especially if they have to use the bathroom, at least then they'll come and stay and pick up some information about the library, so.
But your team had done an excellent job as well. I have to tell you, they had tables set up at different activities. They even had a photo booth.
Amazing.
Even the teenagers were coming in and having a blast in that photo booth. And there were crafts, and there were hot chocolate stand, and there were all kinds of other things on the other side while I was reading I didn't even get to,
Yeah.
but busy and just constant stream of people coming and going. Yeah,
I
and the
love it.
chatter was all positive.
Good.
Yeah, it really was. It was great.
Other than that, Jenna made lots of connections that month, and our social media is doing well. Emily's doing an awesome job. And then our last collection update, we did decide to go ahead. We were looking at adding some tablets that were preloaded with educational games to the collection. But then for Black Friday, there was a sale on the Kindle Fires. And that kind of tied in with the idea of the educational games, as well as part of our Beyond Books collection. We wanted to offer parents, say if they go on a trip, where they could access Hoopla or Overdrive or Canopy on a device. We had looked before at getting a DVD Blu-ray player that they could bring with them with the little screens, but we thought this would be useful because it would keep at least one child entertained while they're on the trip. And they can also borrow a Wi-Fi hotspot with it. So it just kind of reaches out to the people in our community who might not be able to afford tablets and have Wi-Fi available to them. So we think those will be well used. They're going to be put out in January though, just to
Okay.
give
Well,
some
it'll be
time.
great to see the statistics on that, the data.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, an excellent idea, especially if they were reasonably priced at the time.
They were, yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions about the activity report?
No? Thanks, Maggie.
No problem.
Okay, now we're going to move into new business. And our first item is the annual work plan. And we need to put the motion on the table so we can discuss. So this is as a joint effort between the library CEO and chief librarian. It is preferred to postpone the presentation until Kelly returns fully to her role February the 1st. So do we need a motion for that? Is that okie dokie? All right, so the recommended action is that the Renfrew Public Library Board approve the postponement of the annual work plan presentation until February 2025, allowing Kelly Latendresse to assist in preparing the annual work plan once returning to her role as the library CEO. So can I have a mover, please? Jason, and seconder? Haley, thank you. So now we can discuss. All right.
So it was basically just the idea that we're going to wait for Kelly to come back, because as much as I would enjoy working on it. She has obviously the expertise. So, and she knows also kind of budget-wise what we're looking at. So it'd be good if we could work together. And she's very busy right now.
I was just
so-
gonna say, it would be great for you two to work together. Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, I do too. Lauren, any thoughts?
No, I agree. I think that's reasonable.
All right, so that was easy. Are we ready to take a vote then? All in favor? Unanimous. Okay, great. Thanks, everyone. All right, meeting, support and record management from the town of Renfrew. We have discussed this. So as a joint effort between, where am I? Sorry about that. Our recommended action is that the Renfrew Public Library Board approve that the town of Renfrew continue to provide meeting support and record management for the Renfrew Public Library Board agendas, minutes, and related documents. Could I have a mover, please? Jane, and second? Donna, thank you very much. So this is time for us to have a chit chat about this too as well. We did bring this up last meeting, so this is a good time just to clarify that I believe we have done this in the past as well, right? We do have a document refreshing our memory, right, Sarah?
Yep.
All right, so is there anything specific you need us to clarify, or we're just
No, it was just
reconfirming?
you had asked for clarification
I did.
that it was proper for them to continue to with records management for
Correct.
the library. So Sarah did put together that document. That's just after my report.
Yes, it's dated today.
Yeah.
And it is in our package. So has everybody had a chance to look at it? Oh, good. Thank you. I did ask for clarification. That's true. We did have some discussion last time, and this helps us greatly. Is there anything anybody wanted to ask or suggest or query? No, we're all good? All right. So then can we have a vote to continue to do this? Oh, before we move on, do we need to, Sarah, have anything of Lauren's documentation from our last meeting forwarded to you?
No, I will still need a copy of the closed.
So you
meeting minutes.
do require that?
Yeah.
So Lauren, so our closed session minutes from last time would fall under this category. So you are, if we all agree to this, you would be then authorized to go ahead and forward those minutes to Sarah, who would then attach them. As all closed minutes are handled, she would handle it from there. Does that make
Okay, and
sense?
do those minutes need to be secured or password protected, or is just a PDF document fine?
Sarah?
Yeah, so as long as that they're sent strictly to me, if you want to put a password protector on them, that's great. I can definitely do that. And then they'll be stored digitally on one of the town drives that's closed, that doesn't have access to from anyone else. And then a physical copy that's signed, because we'll have to get that signed as well, will be kept with our other closed minute documents.
Okay, so I don't need to password protect it.
If you are emailing it directly to me, that's fine. But if you prefer to password protect them just as a backup, that's great as well.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and I did also run this by Kelly and Maggie so that they would understand or help us understand this process, and supported there as well. Everybody okay then? Are we okay to take a vote? All right, so can we vote if everybody or anyone supports this? All in favor? Okay. Thank you. All right, and thank you for that, Sarah, for putting that document together for us. All right, strategic planning is next. So previous strategic planning documentation and the OLS communication was to be shared. We discussed that last time, and we were going to hopefully talk about committee members that are interested in participation. So in order to have that conversation, here is the recommended action, everybody. that the Renfrew Public Library Board appoint members to the Strategic Planning Committee. Could I have a mover, please? Jason, and second? Jane, thank you. Sorry, Lauren, I should glance at you more often. I apologize. Okay, so we have that ready for discussion.
So did you want to lead with your communications with OLS?
Certainly. So as you asked at the last meeting, or authorized me to go ahead and contact OLS, which I did do. They have, first of all, they thanked me. And I know they weren't thanking me. They were thanking you, like all of us together, for being progressive and proactive in our work past and looking forward. They said it was delightful and they were pleased that we contacted them and they looked forward to working with us, given that we are where we are in the progression of things. So I wanted to share that with you first right away. I was thrilled because I didn't know. I asked a million questions, but first of all, I said, what is it they can offer us and what is it that we need? Where is the value added and how does this process work? So they sent me a lengthy document and I just took quick notes. So that lengthy document will be shared at the appropriate time for a further discussion to all of you. But I can give you the highlights right now. So these are the notes that I took. First of all, we qualify for full support as we determine a need. So whatever our need is, they support us. They will support without fee any community that's under 15,000 people, and that's us, right? We did read and peruse their documents last month, and so we were quite aware of that, but he elaborated further. He said what that usually entails for us would be 70 to 80% of their consulting services to us would be virtual. And we would also qualify for one full free in-house session. So we could make a day of it, we could do whatever, but there would be one, and that would all still come without a cost.
That's really good.
Yes, and he said that they're, the gentleman I spoke to, his name is Stephen, I'm gonna say Kraus, it's Kraus, and he was just so accommodating and easy to brainstorm with and ask questions. He said there will not be any administration fees either, so it really is free. He said that whoever's on the committee is whoever is able and willing and interested in committing to this committee. And it can take on various forms based on, of course, the number of people we have and who's able to meet at different times. Anyway, he says they can help us no matter what. But he said, first and foremost, we need to really include staff from the library staff, board members, and any other stakeholder partners. He suggested maybe town, since we're, you know, tightly and happily affiliated with the town of Renfrew. So he just suggested that as somebody we might want to reach out to participate. He said the size of the team doesn't matter to them, not at all. But what he would like to do is encourage us that as we move forward with whatever plan we've determined together as a group, that we regularly bring back updates. So every month we would come back with whatever we've done and report to the board as a group ourselves, where we were in the process. He says training is offered around strategic planning, and what it is a course of modules. So some they walk us through, some we would do independently, some we would do as a group. And he said it also includes an introduction to strat planning for the committee. So I know that when we looked at that document last time, and Haley, we'll have, did I share that with you? I don't know that I did.
I don't think so.
Okay, we will do that. It laid out a template for steps to take forward. It also had 10 different items in the appendices, which I know that some of you talked about surveys and things that you had done last time. Donna and Jane, I know you did. So they were, some of them were just based on that, like very similar to what you had done in the last strategic planning year. But again, just different formats and different ideas, but similar, exactly what you had suggested. He said that the modules are usually between 1 and 1.5 hours, and that what typically he has found helps committees is if they commit to, he suggested like every third Thursday of the month from during such and such a time, everybody gets together and does a module or has a conversation, and the consultant would coach or help us through it or whatever. I also asked if there was in this process, if we don't really need to be at the beginning, based on where we are as a library, could we just zoom in wherever we are? For example, we have already rebranded. We have already done all of that mission, vision, and value statements. We have done all of that, and recently. So I said to him, do we have to start at the beginning, or could we zoom in where it fits? And he said, we could, but he doesn't recommend it because in order for them to help us, they need to know where we've been and what we've done. So how we got to this point in time. So that kind of made sense, but he did say we can certainly zoom through it to get them up to date so that we can then move ahead forward so that we're efficient and effective in our own goals. I did explain that Kelly would be returning the 1st of February and that she was, that we had you right now, and that was lovely. And he said it would be really great to have Maggie and Kelly both work together with this whole process, and that if Kelly wasn't back to February, it actually worked really well at their end, at OLS's end, because they would not be able to help us until March or April. So if we think about our own needs and how we can even get this started, it probably fits our own timeline really, really well, because they aren't ready for us and we're actually not ready for them. So there's lots of things that we can sort of brainstorm on our own before that. So he did say he wanted to make sure that we knew that they do not help us in any way get it pretty. So, so you know, when we did the rebranding, it was really pretty at the end, and we had that wonderful company support us in the printing and the publication. They do not help with any of that. So he just wanted us to know up front that that would be in our responsibility, right? So I guess hiring someone to do the printing and doing all the graphics and everything would be a cost to us as a board. Yeah, so just something to know in advance. He said an effective timeline would be approximately 1 year, but he said looking at our situation and where we already are, he thinks at 8 months would probably do it, which again still fits within our timeline of this year. So that was nice to hear. He says, he said this. I asked him about the current strategic plan just continuing and remaining in place as an ongoing document, living document, until the new one is completed. And he said, absolutely, but in his experience, he recommends a motion, sorry, Sarah, that we actually formally do that we formally make a motion that the strategic plan ending December 31st, 2024 actually be kept in effect until the new one is created. I don't know how that works. This is all new process to me. That was just his suggestion and recommendation. So
we can do that next.
We could also do that next meeting. Yes, again, something else to talk about and to think about. So that's where we are, but they are happy to help us and thrilled that we called. Yeah.
That's great, Tracy.
So any other thoughts or questions or?
I'll be bringing it up at the staff meeting on Wednesday, and I'll see who would like to be part of the committee.
Okay, excellent. So something that we can talk about too, when we discussed this last time, is there anyone who is able to and wants to and has the time and energy and would like to jump on this committee? Do we want to still think about that until January, or does anybody wants to put their name forward now?
I will absolutely put that one forward.
Oh, thank you, Haley. And I'm very interested in participating as well. But I don't want anybody to feel like they have to put their name or put themselves forward now. Not a problem. That can wait as well. Well,
I think actually the more of us partake, the better.
absolutely.
Because we can also have subcommittees. There'll be a lot of work to be done, so.
Absolutely, Jane, absolutely. I just don't want anyone to feel pressured, but everyone, that's on this board is valued, and we really appreciate everybody's input and participation in everything that we do. Definitely we do. But again, we can think about it for, so Jane, you're interested as well at the moment? Okay, all right. So we'll have this conversation again in January and let everyone think and breathe. And now you've got some more information, and we'll have more information to share again on the January meeting.
So with that motion, Sarah, do they actually have to name names today?
We can amend that to postpone it till,
Okay.
till the next new year if you'd like.
Like, just in case maybe if Heather did want to join.
Oh, yes, yes, I want everybody to feel that they can still join, absolutely. So how can we say that? Or do you want to, I don't know, what is the best practice in this situation? I do not
Because we
mind.
can go ahead and say, you know, facing
And Jane,
Jane.
at this time, are happy to commit?
and
And anyone else
that
who
we
is,
will.
however you want to phrase that, Sarah? Yes, welcome, everybody.
The invitation will remain open.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yes.
We need everybody.
We do need everybody. Yes, you and James said that last time as well. And it will be very interesting once we formalize with the consultant and also Kelly. Kelly's, her expertise in all of this is invaluable. So we need her around as well.
Yeah.
So yes, we definitely don't want to do too much without her. And we can wait.
Just to confirm, would you like to appoint those two members today and then also amend it to add new members at the next meeting?
Yes,
Sure.
I'm okay with that. Is everybody else okay with that? Lauren, are you okay with that? She's fine.
Yep, I'm fine with that. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, well, let's let Sarah get that wording done.
So I have so far that the Renfrew Public Library Board appoint Haley Heaslip and Jane Donnelly to the Strategic Planning Committee and to appoint additional members at the January meeting.
And
Do I need to be on there?
I can add you as well, yeah?
Please.
Sure.
Oh, and Donna would like to, okay,
Okay,
okay. Donna, I apologize if I missed you.
Okay.
I thought maybe you were just needing to think.
so that the Renfrew Public Library Board appoint Haley Heaslip, Jane Donnelly, Donna Clark, and Tracy Stevens to the Strategic Planning Committee and to appoint additional members at the January meeting.
Excellent. All right, so can we vote on that?
So we need a mover and a second.
A mover and a seconder. Jason will move. And Donna will second. Thank you.
And then you will vote on it.
And all in favor? All in favor. All right. Thank you.
And just to confirm for record, everybody had agreed to add members today to the strategic.
Okay, yes. All right, great. All right, we do have one more item to discuss, but it is under next meeting, Sarah. Is that all right? So I can go ahead?
Mhm.
All right, so we do not have a closed session this evening. Upcoming items for our next board meeting. We don't have anything at the moment, just the ones that we've discussed to date in earlier motions. All right, and our next meeting, as Maggie will be away on January the 20th, we would like to reschedule the library board meeting to the 27th. So our recommended action is that the next meeting of the Renfrew Public Library Board be held on January 27th, 2025 at 5 p.m. Do we need a mover and a seconder? Okay, we need a mover and a seconder. Haley moving, thank you. And seconded Jane. Thank you, and we can have a conversation.
Well, it is just basically, I'm not gonna be here and Kelly is informing me she can't make it either.
Exactly.
So unless
She's
they
not,
postpone it. or-
yeah. Okay. So we'll just let everybody,
That'll give extra time for strategic planning ideas.
oh, yes, there we go. Extra
Perfect.
planning, yes.
She planned it this way.
It's
I did,
extra
I
thinking
did.
time, extra thinking time, all good. All right, so, Jane, do you need another minute,
No,
Jane?
no,
No,
it's okay.
okay, so, can we vote on this? All in favor of changing our date? Okay, unanimous. All right. So the next meeting will be on January the 27th, 2025 at 5 p.m. All right, so we are adjourned. Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Thank you so
Lauren.
much. Thank you so much, Tracy. That was really great.
See you next
And
time.
thank you,
Holiday.
and thank you for contacting the OLS and getting all that information. That was really helpful.
And we will get you the information in your hands quickly.
Great.